guys, today I'm going to be talking about second and third wave of feminism, which took place during the 50s through the 90s. Feminists did everything they could to get their message out and fought for what they thought was right. Today I will be telling you all about the events that happened, so let's get started. First off, in the 1960s was when feminism was extremely big. Consciousness rising of groups was called the backbone of the feminist movement. Consciousness rising groups were widespread and had the aura of a grassroots revolution. To get their message out, feminists protested in streets and at rallies, hearings, marches, or even the Miss America pageant. Truth be told, Lady Gaga wasn't the first to rock the meat dress. Feminists wore meat dresses at the pageant because they felt that society saw all women as a piece of meat. Along with protesting, feminists had a lot of lawsuits. Feminists went to court to fight for equality, stand up against discrimination, and work on legal aspects of women's rights. These women stood tall and proud and never gave up on what they thought was right. While women were fighting in court, some were studying books. Feminists then realized how women were ignored or described as something they're not in history books, social science books, literature books, and other books. But by the end of the 60s, new discipline was born. One of the first lesbian organizations to be established was the DOB. DOB was founded in San Francisco, and then lesbians were subject to discrimination and public hospitality. DOB started small and then grew larger. DOB's goals were to have people accept them and have lesbian rights. In the year 1966, the National Organization for Women was founded. Betty Freeman co-founded NOW. Freeman was well known for her book called The Feminine Rescue. She did, however, write the book before founding into NOW. In the 1960s, radical feminist groups like the Red Stockings were formed. Red Stockings women would go out and spread knowledge of visual women liberation theory, slogans, and actions that have become household words. In 1961, JFK establishes the President's Commission on the Status of Women and appoints Eleanor Roosevelt as chairwoman. June 10, 1963, Congress passed the Equal Pay Act, making it illegal for employers to pay women less than what a man would receive for the same job. In 1965, Allie Biswood, director of Planned Parenthood League of Connecticut, and Dr. C. Lee Foxen, doctor and professor at Yale Medical School, were arrested and found guilty for providing birth control. They both went to the Supreme Court, claiming that the law violated the U.S. Constitution. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, also known as the EEOC, was created in 1964, the end of discrimination based on race, color, religion, or national origin in employment, and to promote programs to make equal employment opportunities a reality. In 1971, Gloria first published the sample insert in New York Magazine. 300,000 copies were sold in 8 days. This magazine became a major forum for feminist voices. Gloria was an icon of the modern feminist movement. In 1972, the Equal Rights Amendment, also known as the ERA, was passed by Congress. The amendment reads, equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the U.S. or by any state on account of sex. This amendment died in 1982. The Pregnancy Discrimination Act was an act banned in employment discrimination against pregnant women in 1978. Under the act, women cannot be fired or denied a job or promotion because she is pregnant. Emily's List is established as a federal network for pro-choice Democratic women running for the national political office. The organization makes a significant impact on the increasing numbers of women elected to Congress. In 1992, Planned Parenthood versus Casey, the Supreme Court reaffirms that variety of a woman's right to abortion under Roe v. Wade. The case changes Pennsylvania's 1989 Abortion Control Act. In 1994, the Violence Against Women Act tightens federal penalties for sex offenders, funds services for victims of rape and domestic violence, and provides for special training of police officers. In 1996, the United States versus Virginia, the Supreme Court rules that all male Virginia military schools has to admit women in order to continue to receive public funding. They weren't so happy about this, but at the end, they ended up making separate schools for all female schools. The success of the feminist movement wasn't driven by the leader, but for of many. All of the women put their heads together to change the world forever. Their motto was, "Everything a man can do, a woman can do 100 times better." Throughout this presentation, there has been a song playing. The name of the song is "You Don't Own Me" by Leslie Gore. This song was well known as a feminist song. Well, that is it. Hope you guys